This section of the video will cover crochet instructions and techniques. You may first open to the corresponding pages in the knitting booklet for a general understanding, and then, with the further explanation in this video, you can get started more quickly. Use white yarn and hold the thread on the non-dominant hand. First circle around the tail finger, then around the index finger position. Circle around the middle finger and make a magic ring. Pinch the end of the thread with your thumb and nameless. Holding the crochet with the dominant hand, penetrate and hook the yarn from below. At the same time, move the thumb up to the middle finger position and pinch the line. There's a loop on the crochet. Then crochet the thread and hook the yarn out of the loop. At this point, we get a slip knot as a starting point. You can adjust the size of the magic circle to the ideal size by pulling the tail line appropriately. Next, crochet the first single crochet. Crochet into the magic ring. Hook yarn from top to bottom. Now there are 2 loops on the crochet. Then the crochet is wound again through 2 coils. The first single crochet is completed. Put on the marking buckle for easy identification. Then crochet a second single crochet. Penetrate the magic ring. Pull out after winding. Get to wire loops. Then wind the wire again and pull out the 2 wire loops. Repeat the previous steps to complete the next 4 single crochets. After completing 6 stitches, pinch the tail line and tighten the magic ring. Observe if the hole in the center is tightened. Then remove the marking clasp of the first stitch. Stare at the first pin position. Crochet into the 2 loops of the first stitch. After winding, bring out all the wire loops and complete a sliding needle. Tighten the sliding needle to reduce the trace of the pull position. The first lap is done, then the second lap is crocheted. A chain needle is used as a standing needle, not counting the number of needles. The position of the first pin in this circle is the same as the position of the pin in the previous circle as the lead pin. Be careful not to make a mistake. The instruction for the first crochet is to add a needle for a single crochet. 2 loops crocheted into 1 stitch. Here, the tail of the magic ring needs to be hidden within the first 3 stitches of this round's instructions as you crochet together. Place the tail line above the crochet. Then, pinch the magic ring with your finger. Crochet the thread, hook the thread out of the stitch to get 2 loops. Continue crocheting and winding, hooking the thread out of the 2 loops. Put a marker buckle on the first pin for easy identification later. Then continue at the first stitch position and crochet a single crochet again. Crochet into 2 loops on the pin. After winding, hook the thread out of the stitches. Continue winding and tick out to wire loops. The needle addition instruction for 1 single crochet is completed. Then repeat the previous actions to complete the instructions for the second and third pins. After the third pin instruction is completed, you can use scissors to cut the extra part of the tail line hidden on the back. Pay attention to leave a tail line of about 0.5 centimeters, which is convenient for adjustment later. Next, continue to crochet the remaining instructions for the second circle. Pay attention to pressing down the remaining part of the tail line to avoid crochet and prevent it from being hooked to the front. Then remove the marking clasp of the first stitch. Stare at the first pin position. Crochet into the 2 loops of the first stitch. After winding, bring out all the wire loops and complete a sliding needle. Tighten the sliding needle to reduce the trace of the pull position. Lap 2 is complete. Then start crocheting for lap 3. A chain needle is used as a standing needle, not counting the number of needles. Confirm the position of the first pin, which is the same as the position of the pin on the previous circle as the lead pin. The first stitch instruction is single crochet. 2 loops crocheted into 1 stitch. Winding hook stitches. Continue winding and draw the loop. Put a marker buckle on the first pin for easy identification later. Next, crochet the second stitch instruction. Crochet goes through the stitch and around the thread. Continue winding and tick out to wire loops. Then continue to crochet a single crochet again at the same stitch position. Second pin command complete. Refer to the action content of the previous 2 pins. 2 stitches in a group. Crochet the remaining 5 sets of stitch instructions. Then remove the marking clasp of the first stitch. Stare at the first pin position. Crochet into the 2 loops of the first stitch. After winding, bring out all the wire loops and complete a sliding needle. Tighten the sliding needle to reduce the trace of the pull position. Lap 3 completed. A chain needle is used as a standing needle, not counting the number of needles. Begin crocheting for the 4th lap. Confirm the position of the first pin. Crochet through stitches. Crochet a single crochet. Put a marker buckle on the first pin for easy identification later. Second stitch crochet a set of single crochet needles. Third stitch crochet a single crochet. Refer to the action content of the previous 3 pins. 3 stitches in a group. Crochet the remaining 5 sets of stitch instructions. Then remove the marking clasp of the first stitch. Stare at the first pin position. Crochet into the first stitch. Winding brings out the thread to complete a sliding needle. Tighten the sliding needle to reduce the trace of the pull position. Lap for completed.